Fellas, it's finally happening. We are finally reviewing Jade Rabbit with its new reworked Exotic Perk. Again, we wanted to do this immediately after the new season went live, but Jade Rabbit was actually bugging out and was applying weapon damage bonus to other weapons outside of itself. Long story short, Bungie disabled it, and they recently re-enabled it with hotfix 6.3.0.3. Now keep in mind, Jade Rabbit is one of the buggiest weapons ever created, and I honestly don't know why. It's not like Telesto broken, but it did possess some inconsistencies with its previous exotic perk that really made all of us scratch our heads. Now, previously, the exotic perk on Jade Rabbit, which is the Fate of All Fools, would increase precision damage after landing body shots. And that was essentially the buff that it did back inside of Destiny 1. You'd actually intentionally go for the body shot to chain that body shot damage into the crit shot damage. And what this would result in is the easy 3-tap, but at 2 crits, 1 body. So it was actually more forgiving than other 150 round per minute scout rifles. Now though, Bungie has actually changed that. Now this is actually not updated in the API, but it is updated in game. The Fate of All Fools now states that you chain precision shots to gain bonus damage on your next body shot, and it returns ammo to the magazine. Now that bonus damage to that body shot is pretty hefty. We're talking a 77.5% increase in body shot damage. And as you see here, the body shot damage matches that of our crit shot damage. You're hitting 71 damage per crit, and after landing 3 precision shots, it will load a body shot damage bonus on your next shot. Now, interestingly enough, there's some characteristics here that are, you guessed it, kinda buggy. Sometimes, after landing 3 precision shots, Bungie would give us 2 body shots that are increased. Another thing is if you miss a shot after accumulating that extra damage body shot, you don't expend it. It's only expended after you land that body shot damage. No lie, there was lots of inconsistencies in our testing. All we can tell you for sure is that landing 3 precision shots will grant you either 1 or 2 bonus body shot rounds, which of course adds to the forgiveness of the weapon. Keep in mind, Jade Rabbit has the ability to 3-tap in 0.8 seconds, and amongst scout rifles, it actually has one of the best TTK values. I know everybody loves Dead Man's Tell, and don't get me wrong, DMT is very, very good, but I think a huge reason why you've seen DMT on the rise here recently is A, the buff, and B, Jade Rabbit hasn't been present. Now that Jade Rabbit has returned, I actually think you're gonna see some drop there in DMT usage. Now, can you land the 3-shot body shot kill after accumulating enough bonus rounds? Actually, yes, although some inconsistencies here. If you have enough targets in front of you and you're landing crits back and forth, or you're chaining kill to kill, if you land non-crits, yes, you can have 3 bonus rounds that can easily get the 3-tap from the body. Granted, there were times that I tried doing this on a single target and it would just still stop at 2 rounds. I know, buggy. Now keep in mind, when you reload, you actually wash the perk, as in you lose those bonus rounds. That's actually gonna reset everything. There was also some other funkiness here, including swapping weapons. You can land multiple crits on an opponent, swap weapons, and then swap back to Jade Rabbit, and sometimes one of those increased body shots just flat out disappears. Now, what does this really mean overall? Well, it means that Jade Rabbit is still as funky and weird as it's always been, and I actually would love an explanation from Bungie on why this is the case. Seems like this issue, which was supposed to resolve Jade Rabbit's previous exotic perk, which I actually thought was a better perk for 1v1s, was not resolved with this exotic change. Granted, we'll see how things work out. On top of that, I wish we actually had a counter at the bottom left end of our screen, similar like what we see for things like Hawkmoon, Revision 0, something to showcases how many shots we have available for that increase in body shot damage. There's no counter, so you're kind of flying wild here, wondering, okay, do I have an increase there in my body shot damage or not? Which in real situations doesn't necessarily make me feel comfortable going for the body shot when Jade Rabbit can easily get the kill in the 3 crits. And I will say, in regards to all the weapons and their hitboxes, Jade Rabbit has a very forgiving hitbox. Like, look at this, I'm literally shooting the shoulder below the neck area, and look at this, guys, it's still counting as a crit. So keep in mind, the forgiveness here overall is so good that you almost don't want to go for the body shot. But where this perk is supposed to shine is when going from target to target, or even folks that just run away from you and re-engage. If you're in a situation where you can't do anything but land a body shot, this may actually work in your favor, so I see the benefits there. Now, with that being said, I think the overwhelming buff that Jade Rabbit has gotten this season is the fact that it's a high impact weapon. This, like many of our other high impact weapons, and we've been covering this left and right, tons of exotics fall under the umbrella of high impacts. High impacts actually got an accuracy buff, and this is something super noticeable on Jade Rabbit. I felt like previously with Jade Rabbit, I had to be a lot more stationary. Yet currently right now, even with airborne effectiveness being what it is, I felt like I could run and gun with Jade Rabbit. And not necessarily from the air, but just coming in and out of my hip fire, landing shots, Jade Rabbit felt so consistent. And in 1v1 situations, its ability to land crits has never felt better. Like, it reminds me of Destiny 1. And if you remember back in D1, there were literally people that would use a sidearm and a Jade Rabbit every every single day inside of Rumble and would win. Even on maps like Fire and Base Delphi and close range maps, Jade Rabbit was going toe-to-toe and beating out certain weapons because it had a superior time to kill value. Again, hand cannons, just like it was back inside of Destiny 1, had a 0.87 time to kill, at least our 140s. And with Jade Rabbit having a 0.8 second time to kill and essentially no cap on range, you could easily land that and secure the kill faster. Now keep in mind, guys, we are on the back of a direct nerf to Jade Rabbit. Number one, they actually reduced the aim assist on Jade Rabbit by 20 in Season 19, which is a pretty substantial change. I will say this, I played on controller with Jade Rabbit today as well as mouse and keyboard, and it still felt really, really good there, but that's a change that only someone that was playing with Jade Rabbit a lot would probably be able to notice. Granted, the question I have is the overall high impact accuracy buff mitigating that nerf there by 20 aim assists. Now, a buff that Jade Rabbit actually got back in Beyond Light was they changed armor piercing rounds for high caliber rounds. And this is why I think it's been performing so well, at least the past day, up against Dead Man Tell users. Its ability to flinch DMT has been so nice. And even other weapons. The flinch from Jade Rabbit stuns the hell out of Guardians. Overall, guys, I very much like where Jade Rabbit is. I think it's in a very good spot. Obviously, the map dictates whether or not you use a scout rifle, and that's where Dead Man's Tale and No Time to Explain come in, especially No Time to Explain being such a mid-range friendly weapon, and DMT has the ability to go between both of those as you can hip fire Dead Man's Tale. With that being said though, I think this week of Trials is really going to showcase where Jade Rabbit fits into the meta. You're going to see people using it. I'm personally going to try to use it, as I think it is the direct counter to Dead Man's Tale. DMT has a 1 second time to kill value, at least in its 120 variant. What it has by default is just a little bit more forgiveness at 2 crits in one body. But what Jade Rabbit possesses is a faster time to kill value, the ability to flinch like crazy, and it gets stronger against multiple targets and as the gunfight continues. Now keep in mind, this isn't a situation like Revision 0 or even Hawkmoon where you get a super shot bullet that breaks the time to kill threshold. It's nothing like that. Hawkmoon, of course, gets stronger and stronger, and I love that about Hawkmoon, as you can get to the point where you can get the one tap if the gunfight goes on long enough. Jade Rabbit is not like that, as in if you got someone that's sitting there crutching on Titan barricades and getting over shields or even a healing rift, you're not going to suddenly break through those shields and snag the kill. This only increases the forgiveness of this scout rifle. But between the high impact buff that Jade Rabbit got alongside other high impact weapons, the high caliber rounds from Beyond Light, the rework to its perk, which against multiple targets is a buff, the fact that it highlights targets, which is super beneficial. I love that it highlights targets this way. It makes picking up new Guardians coming around a corner super easy. These are all things that are aiding this weapon. So guys, try it out for yourself. And again, if you happen to be testing this weapon and you're running into the same issues that we ran into in regards to getting those bonus rounds, where sometimes it procs 2 bonus body shots off of just 3 crits, again, I don't know what that's about. It was really messing with my head as well. Bungie has got to add a counter here though for us to visually see this so we can see how many bonus shots we're getting after landing crits. That way we have an easier time managing those shots and utilizing them when we want to utilize them. And for my PvE players wondering if Jade Rabbit is the play, I don't really think it's the play for you guys. I think that, yes, it does add forgiveness, but for the most part, I would just prefer other options over Jade Rabbit, especially considering you have things like Polaris Lance, Touch of Malice. Like if you just wanted to rock an exotic of some sort, hell, even DMT with Vorpal, Symmetry, Skyburner's Oath, especially considering Skyburner's Oath applies Scorch, and if you're rocking an Ignition build with Solar 3.0, I just think there's better options. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.